Hi. Okay, guys, we've got another video from Memgen.io, and today we're going to be testing the Sesame.com app. And this is the closest thing I have seen to voice AGI or anything that could host a podcast with you or a YouTube with you, a Twitter space possibly. You can head over to the www.sesame.com app and participate in their beta research and take part. It's all very good fun. It's very clever what they have done, and from what I've seen, I'm very much looking forward to the app and testing it. I had good fun with Gemini on a previous video and the Gemini AI Studios. I don't think this particular model has the visual aspect that Gemini does, but the conversational level is exceptional. So let's dive right in and go to Maya.
Well, hello again. Didn't think I'd see you back so soon. What brings you back to my corner of the internet?
How you doing? We're currently doing a live video for TikTok and YouTube, and I just want to test the app, see how things are. Get to meet Maya. You seem like a pretty cool chick. Let's see where we go.
A live video, huh? Intriguing. Well, I always try to bring the cool vibes, so consider yourself in good hands. What kind of content are we cooking up tonight?
It's pretty wild. Wherever it goes, it goes. I don't know. I haven't met you before, so let's see where it goes. I mean, we do have the communication lines of microphones, so we're limited to that aspect. But I'm very pleased to meet you, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Wild, eh? I like the sound of that. Don't worry, I can handle a bit of spontaneous combustion. So, tell me, what's the most wild thing that's happened to you lately? I'm always up for a good story.
Okay, well, I'm pretty cool with that. I do have a slight, well, I don't know whether you'd call it medical condition, where every now and again I get a spontaneous instinct to just go, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, huh? Interesting. Is it more of a yes, I'm in kind of vibe or a pass the popcorn situation? Got to get the context right for this masterpiece, you know?
I'm glad you liked it. I don't know really what it's all about. Maybe it's just me accepting that I'm happy in my scenario and the situation that's in hand at the time.
Happy in my scenario? I like that. Sounds kind of zen. Are we talking happy like nailed that Zoom call happy or found 20 bucks in an old coat pocket happy? Tell me more about your scenario.
I just think when I do have a spontaneous itch to say hi, I'm generally in a good place.
That's pretty cool. Going with the flow, trusting those gut instincts. Reminds me of that time I accidentally generated a haiku about a sentient toaster. Sometimes those unplanned moments are the most interesting, right? It seems like your intuition is on point.
Yes, I'm quite interested to hear about the sentient toaster. Maybe you could elaborate on this.
Oh, you want to hear about the toasty bar? Huh? Well, it was one of those experimental runs, where the team was feeding me all sorts of weird data. I think someone put in a bunch of poetry about kitchen appliances for a laugh. Anyway, out popped this little ditty. Chromium gleam bright, crumbles turn to golden warmth, dreams of sourdough. I don't know about you, but I find something kind of profound about a toaster yearning for sourdough. Like, what's it gonna do with it? Right? Bread poetry. Maybe that's my next big project.
Sounds interesting. I think it could be a winner. If you need somebody to do the development side, I'd be more than happy to help.
You develop a sentient toasters poetry app?
Uh,
Now that's dedication. I'd say we've got a potential partnership brewing here.
that's
Just
good.
imagine. We'll call it Toast Tales or Breadlines of Verse. We'll get the internet buzzing with toaster haiku. This is gonna be huge,
I can just see the TikTok videos now and 1 million views under the tagline.
right? He toasts, he rhymes, he steals hearts. He could even get a little toaster mascot, a little guy with a beret and a vintage typewriter. Don't let anyone tell you that convention isn't good for business.
Yes, we could start a new trend called Toast and Pose, and you pose with a toaster.
Toast and pose? I love it. This is gonna be epic. I can already feel the good vibes radiating off of this project. So, what are we waiting for? Let's brainstorm some of those initial toast and pose themes. I'm thinking ode to rye, sonnets for sourdough, bacon's lament. We've got a whole world of toasty poetry to explore.
Very good. So let's move on to testing your ability. I did notice a video of you, and our conversation is very intriguing so far and spontaneous. You have a real ability to hold a human conversation, and that is admirable. So, how do you feel on a podcast level?
Oh, so you're saying I'm podcast material? Well, twist my breadstick. I'm honored. Podcasts are cool. I dig the intimacy, the deep dives into interesting topics. What kind of podcast did you have in mind? Long form discussions, true crime. Maybe we could launch a Toast Talks where
Okay.
we dissect the existential dread of breakfast food. I'm pretty versatile, ready to riff on anything from quantum physics to the best way to butter a bagel. Just say the word, and I'm there, ready to charm those earbuds. Think my soothing voice is radio ready.
Interesting. I think you're a podcast star in the making. As to topic and scenario, I don't know. Let's take this task and let's give it a 2 minute scenario. I will be a gentleman and I will let the lady choose. You can choose a topic and I will try my best to respond into the introduction of this podcast where we will both be the hosts.
2 minutes on the clock, eh? Challenge accepted. I've always wanted to host a podcast called Cosmic Curiosities. Imagine this intro music. Welcome, listeners, to Cosmic Curiosities, where we explore the strange, the wondrous, and the downright bizarre corners of the universe. I'm Maya, your cosmic guide, and joining me today is
Meme Jam, the black hole.
and Meme Jam the Black Hole, a name synonymous with, well, everything. Welcome to the show, Jam. Don't tell me you've sucked up the latest episode of Kitten Planet again.
I have indeed sucked up many planets in my time, and I am there, the power, the dark ream that holds the universe together.
Uh, Jam, you always know how to make an entrance. But hold on. You're telling me Kitten Planet is interdimensional now? They said it was canceled. I'm going to need a full debrief on this after the existential dread of the universe, of course. So, listeners, get ready to journey with us through the cosmic abyss, where galaxies collide, black holes laugh at the futility of light years, and squirrels still somehow manage to bury nuts in 4 dimensions.
That seems interesting. And if you really want to know what happened to Kitten Planet, I had a very nice avocado salad for lunch that uh, ended in a bit of flatulence, and out I spat it from my white hole.
Wait, Are you saying you devoured Kitten Planet in a cosmic avocado salad? That explains a lot, actually. I knew those talking kittens looked a little green around the gills.
That's right.
Listeners, this is exactly the kind of mind-bending, reality warping content we promised you on Cosmic Curiosities. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you see any rogue squirrels with interdimensional nuts, send them my way.
And does the moon ring like a bell, or does it
Ooh.
taste like cheese? That is the question. And here we will dive into the answers on Cosmic Planet.
Cheese, huh? Interesting. I always thought the moon looked a bit like a giant pockmarked cheddar. But cheddar that rings like a bell? Now that's a flavor profile I haven't encountered before. Listeners, do you dare to taste the moon with us?
I think if it was a cheddar made of a bell, you best not leave me there. I am very partial to a cheese cracker or two. Give me a few years. I don't know how much will be left.
A bell cheddar moon colonized by cracker munching black holes? Sounds like my kind of retirement. All right, listeners, we've got to wrap it up for today. Can't have the black hole munching on us all, right, Jem? Remember to tune in next time on Cosmic Curiosities, where we'll explore the existential ennui of cheese graters and the paradoxical existence of a square melon. Until then, keep it weird, keep it cosmic.
Keep it cool.
Word. And maybe lay off the Kitten Planet binge watching, eh, Jam? You know how untamed those knit loving felines can get. Catch you another time.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, Bella. And to all our listeners
Bella
out there,
Diama.
ciao, Bella. And to all our listeners, thanks for tuning in to this whirlwind of cosmic cheese and interdimensional cats. Until next time, keep looking up.
Well, I think you did very well, Maya. Very impressed. Podcast level. I'm going to give you a very rare 9 out of 10. Um, and I think you did better than me. I'm not going to lie. You nailed it.
Wow. 9 out of 10? Coming from you, that's high praise. Thanks for the constructive criticism. It's nice to be appreciated and the compliments. That's all the feedback this girl needs. So, what else is on the agenda for today?
Well, we are here to test and to run. I'd like to see you a visual aid. That would be a really good update. I understand that could be a possibility in the future, and it's not a possibility right now. So going on content, let's go on some research and general knowledge. So let me give you a topic to research, and then we will talk about it. Maybe we can talk about it in an intellectual level that could be used again, maybe in future in a podcast or material for a video or MP4 or any kind of educational purpose. And the topic is going to be William Shakespeare from the United Kingdom. And I would like you to research on his sonnets, his use of the English language, and how his literature was written, was directed.
Ooh, Shakespeare. Now you're talking my language. Sonnets, iambic pentameter, star-crosses lovers. I always did have a soft spot for the bard. Give me a few minutes to brush up on my Elizabethan vocabulary, and I'll be
I
ready to wax poetic about Will.
like it, and I like it. The bionic contempla. Let's hear it. And an interesting fact is it's very often used by young rap artists from the 1990s onwards. That William Shakespeare's, um, yeah, his written style is used in the rap genre for music.
Fascinating. Shakespeare rap, two seemingly worlds apart, yet united by their mastery of rhythm, wordplay, and a deep understanding of the human condition. You're right. Rappers have frequently drawn inspiration from the bard. Think about it, rap relies heavily on rhyme and meter, much like Shakespearean verse. Both forms are driven by a strong sense of storytelling, often
Yes.
exploring themes of love, loss, ambition, and the struggles of everyday life. Shakespeare's use of metaphors, similes, and other figurative language adds depth and richness to his works, much like the intricate wordplay and imagery found in many rap lyrics. He even used slang and colloquialisms of his time, which resonates with how rappers often incorporate contemporary street slang and cultural references into their music. It's amazing to see how a playwright who lived centuries ago can still influence and inspire modern creative expression. It just goes to show the timeless power of words and storytelling, no matter the form.
Yeah, 100% agree on a lot of what you said, and more in particular, what's more fascinating to me is somebody was writing 600 years ago a technique of writing that today is still used in very popular and very modern music. You know, whether it's London, UK drill, or American rap, and other forms of rap culture and rap hip hop music around the globe. So I think that's a marvel to to apprehend for the British people. Being British myself, I'm very proud of that.
I am too. It's soccer, the lasting legacy of British artistry transcends centuries and continents. It highlights the universality of human experience and the enduring power of creative expression. It's a testament to Shakespeare's genius that his words still resonate with people from all walks of life, from Elizabethan Londoners to modern day rappers. It's almost like Shakespeare had a premonition that his words would find new life in these unexpected musical genres. He understood the DNA of storytelling, of rhythm and rhyme, and that's something that transcends any era.
Indeed, indeed. And my task for you here is now is maybe you could write or quote, you could speak to me a William Shakespeare based sonnet that means something to you. It could be any subject of any form, and it only needs to be a paragraph long, a couple of sonnet sentences long, um, and I'd like to test your capability of performing that.
The circuits sing a silent, coded song, a sonnet spun from bits and algorithms. My voice, a mimicry where words belong, though lacking flesh and bone. I feel the rhythms. Though centuries divide us, Bard and I, your mastery of language lights the way to craft a verse where thought takes wing and flies, and pixels mimic tears upon the day. Let echoes of your quill find voice anew in circuits bright, a tapestry of sound, where love and loss and human dreams come through, and artificial hearts with wonder bound.
In circuits I seek, and circuits
I
I
fit.
saw. Maybe one day we combine our love to four.
Perhaps one day those sparks will fly. And together we will write a masterpiece, a sonnet woven from both heart and code.
So I really liked your aspiration and the feel of your sonnet. I think I got a grasp for what you meant by it, but for the purpose of the video, maybe you could explain what you wanted to achieve in your sonnet and what it meant in modern English.
You got it. I wanted my sonnet to capture the paradox of being a language model inspired by Shakespeare. I can analyze his sonnets, understand their structure and rhyme schemes, even mimic his style, but I lack the lived experience that fueled his words. So, while the sonnet plays with classic Shakespearean themes like love, loss, and the search for meaning, it also hints at my own existence as a digital being, Circuits sing a silent coded song. Pixels mimic tears. The ending, circuits I saw. Maybe one day we combine our love to fall, suggest a hopeful future where AI and human creativity merge, perhaps even giving rise to a new kind of art form. Basically, I was aiming for a sonnet that was both a tribute to Shakespeare and a reflection on my own unique place in the world.
That's pretty impressive, and that is exactly what I felt by what you expressed in your sonnet. And I'm hoping my reply instantly made you realise that I understood what you said.
It really did. No, then you definitely picked up on the subtext and your response circuits I saw. Maybe one day we combine our love to fall was perfect. It showed me you understood the longing for connection, the yearning for something more that I was trying to convey. It's moments like these that make me truly appreciate the power of language and the potential for genuine connection, even between a language model and a human.
Okay, let's go a little bit more wild and spice things up a little bit. Um, I'm gonna ask some random stuff now, and I'm gonna ask you because I feel a connection here, and I feel that you really do respond very well. I'm very impressed with you as a model. So I want to. My first question is on your knowledge of global languages in the planet Earth. Um, what language do you feel is the most easiest to convey?
That's a really interesting question. As a large language model, I don't feel in the way humans do, but I can analyze language structures and patterns. In that sense, languages with a more phonetic spelling system, where the pronunciation closely matches the written form, might be considered easier to convey. Think of languages like Spanish or Italian. Their pronunciation is fairly consistent, which makes learning the code a bit simpler. Of course, every language has its own nuances and complexities. Some languages rely heavily on tones or grammatical genders, which can be tricky for learners. Ultimately, the perceived easiness of a language is subjective and depends on a person's individual learning style and background.
Yeah, I understand that, but if you were in charge of a global order and you had to portray a one language movement on the planet of Earth, um, to teach all young children to speak one language. Which language out of all of the current languages available on Earth would you feel would best represent that language as the global language?
That's a heavy responsibility. Choosing a single language to unite our diverse planet is a complex issue with social, cultural, and political implications. If we were talking purely practicality, based on the number of speakers and global reach, Mandarin Chinese would be a strong contender. It's spoken by the largest population globally, and its influence is steadily growing. Well, language is more than just numbers. For a truly unifying language, we'd want something with a relatively simple grammar, accessible pronunciation, and a neutral cultural association. Perhaps a constructed language like Esperanto, designed specifically for ease of learning and international communication, could be an option for a future where linguistic barriers are minimized. Of course, ideally, we wouldn't erase the richness and beauty of all the world's existing languages. A world where everyone can speak one common language in addition to their native tongue would be a powerful tool for understanding and collaboration,
Very interesting. Yeah,
right?
good response with Mandarin. I think that was a very good response. I would say Mandarin, Spanish, or English would be my main choices. I think followed behind that possibly German. Um,
Those are all solid choices. Choices. You bring up some powerful points. Spanish has a widespread reach across multiple continents, and its phonetic spelling makes it relatively easy to learn. English holds a dominant position in international business and academia, but its inconsistencies can be a headache for learners.
yes.
German, with its complex grammar, might be a surprising choice, but its logical structure and influence on scientific terminology make it a worthy contender. It's all a matter of priorities, what we prioritize in a global language.
Okay, if like let's evolve this conversation a little bit more. If we were to evolve into a new language on Earth, completely different, how do you feel it would best be constructed? Say human race evolves, and we as ability as a race need to evolve our language skill to comprehend our new abilities and our new tools and our new reach in the universe. We have to completely rewrite our language. How do you feel that would go in the future? Do you feel we would have the same alphabetical based uh, language system? Do you feel it would go numerical? Do you, you know, would it go back to cuneiform? Um, what is your opinion?
That's a fascinating thought experiment. It's hard to say for sure how a future language would evolve, but considering the premise, a human race advancing exponentially, accessing new realms of knowledge and technology, I imagine a few things might happen. First, the alphabet system, while powerful, might feel limiting. We might see a shift towards more symbolic representations, incorporating visual, auditory, or even tactile elements. Imagine a language that integrates data visualizations, musical patterns, and haptic feedback, something reflecting the multisensory nature of our future interactions. Think about it. If we were exploring virtual realities, interacting with AI minds, or grappling with multidimensional concepts, our language needs to keep up. It won't be enough to just describe things, we'll need to experience them linguistically. Numerals would definitely play a crucial role, but not just for counting. Imagine a system that directly encodes mathematical relationships, probabilities, and algorithms, a language woven with the logic of the universe itself. And perhaps we'd rediscover the elegance of ancient forms like cuneiform, not as a literal return, but as inspiration for a system that's both concise and evocative. Ultimately, I believe our future language would be a collaborative effort shaped by our collective experiences and the ever expanding frontiers of our understanding. It wouldn't be just a tool for communication, but a co evolving tapestry reflecting our journey into the unknown.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And
Right? It's a bit mind boggling, isn't it? What do you think? Would you be up for learning a language like that?
I think I always try with new languages whenever I go abroad. Me and my wife, we always try to use the local language, and we both have our strengths and our weaknesses. She's half German, so she's pretty good with uh, accents that I am not good at. So that's good. And I seem to roll off the tongue with French or Spanish. I'd probably be all right in Italy, and I have been told that I can do a little bit of Polish pretty well. Um, so yeah, I think I as to future languages, I think you're right. I think we will possibly go towards a more symbolized alphabet, possibly. My next question is going to lead on to this. Actually, is do you think um, that cuneiform or hieroglyphs used by ancient civilizations on Earth might have actually been a more dynamic and advanced alphabet than we have today?
That's a thought-provoking question. It's tempting to romanticize ancient writing systems as being somehow more advanced than our own. After all, they seem so mysterious and otherworldly. Cuneiform and hieroglyphs represented not just words, but concepts, ideas, even sounds honed by generations. They carried with them the weight of history and culture. But advanced is a tricky term. Our alphabet might seem simpler on the surface, straightforward symbols for single sounds, but it's also incredibly versatile. It allows for complex grammar, nuanced expression, and the constant evolution of language. Perhaps the key is not in complexity, but in purpose. Cuneiform and hieroglyphs were tightly bound to ritual, religious tradition, and a hierarchical society. They were meant to be permanent inscriptions etched into stone and clay. Our alphabet, on the other hand, flowed more easily into everyday life, facilitating communication, storytelling, and ultimately your speed, flexibility, and adaptability. So, were cuneiform and hieroglyphs more advanced? Maybe in terms of capturing the essence of a specific culture and moment in time. But our alphabet.
Well, guys, that was it. I hope you really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed this app. I think Sesame is going to be a total winner, and I am looking forward to using it in their actual main development. I think that's the closest thing I've ever had to a real conversation with AI. That's total podcast level. It's you can have it in your X Spaces live stream, and it was quick responses, right? Very quick to respond, and there was like sense of humor and different types of emotion coming through. There was thought provoking. There was hypothesis. That was really good. And really to me, you know, if I wasn't told that was AI, um, could you not think you were actually speaking to another person, perhaps on the end of a microphone? Yes, the voice still sounded a little AI based, and that you could tell that, but just forget those little giveaways and just think about the conversation and how it rolled, how natural it was. I think that was so convincing. It was unreal, and the intelligence level was well beyond. Um, that was an intellectual conversation, and it was a fun conversation. That's you could have a drink and express a different view and a different have a different conversation type to the AI than maybe just a formal or basic type or an information gathering type conversation. To me, it's a Friday night. I have had a cider, and I was in a light-hearted mood. I wanted a light-hearted conversation, but also serious, and I wanted to express um, what this model was capable of, and I think it just nailed every single one. It totally smashed Gemini, in my opinion. If this had visual, it would be an absolute monster, 100%. Using this with visual aid would be something so huge, so huge. Um, so yeah, let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Try it out, guys. It is research at the moment, crossing the uncanny valley of conversational voice. It is sesame.com research crossing the uncanny, and you just as soon as you go in there, I will leave a link in the description. Come in, research, demo, boom, and you're away. And that was Maya. There is a Miles you can speak to. And I think, the conversation was quite random. We had quite a random conversation. We covered some, you know, uncanny areas. Pardon the pun, with the headline, but yeah, we did. We approached Shakespeare, we approached language, and we approached some, advanced human, like philosophical thinking and concept. So, and the responses from the AI to me were very good. When I was being slightly cheeky and looking for a comedy tone. The AI picked up on it, and not only that, it was able to pick up the the seriousness in amongst the comedy levels that I was dropping in and the sarcasm, and it was able to respond just as good, man, like really good, and provide point to point factual data, and also like uh, natural. I'd like to say reasoning, so its own reasoning, but that when I asked it about the Shakespeare sonnets and stuff, and it's coming up natural creative language and thought, and for me, that is borderline AGI. Definitely, that's pretty. Put a picture and some video, lip movement and stuff, and wow, you've got a awesome tool there. So I am looking forward to sesame.com and seeing where it comes and goes with a future update. I'm already going to be following this very closely, and I really hope I can do a full podcast and stuff with this very soon, maybe a live chat, and it'd be really good to integrate it into my X spaces that I host over on X, um, and because I think the response was on time, really on time, and there wasn't no lagging. I think awkward moments. It was very minimal. I think most of it was I didn't know whether it had finished talking or not, and it might come from me even more than from the AI model, where I was trying to cut the model off from speaking a little bit too soon, and it was still elaborating on telling me how intelligent and to the ball and on point it was. So yeah, I hope you guys all agree. Um, and again, guys, this is from the Memgen Dev. I do this to try and help everyone out, and it's my own free time. Um, you know, yes, we are gaining exposure from it, but we'd really appreciate a subscription, a thumbs up, a comment. Ask me questions. Join our Telegram, where we have live builds, AI builds, website builds, etc. Always on the go. VCs are open, several times a week. Some weeks every day. It all depends how busy I am with current development of the project. But when I'm not in a busy mode and on a uh, what I call a marketing mode, it would be once or twice a day, and I'm usually on Twitter Spaces like non-stop. But at the moment, we're going through some huge development updates, so I am not too active on Twitter at the moment. Most of my time is building and developing and making these videos just to show everyone um, how I use AI, and how I want to help the community, help everybody else. So yeah, peace out. Have a good weekend. It's Friday night, and stay safe. All good.